Hey guys, this is Jay coming to you from 21st Century Reviews, bringing you yet another review for Star Trek, the official Starships collection by Eaglemoss, issue number 12, the USS Thunderchild. Akira-class starship, registration number NCC 63549. Just a quick interlude enough to say, hey, I'm sorry about the hiatus for a couple weeks. Got into some new equipment and everything, and I'm bringing you this review with the courtesy of a new Canon camera. So, just wanted to put that out there, let you know that we are back and we are making huge strides. So, without further ado, the Thunderchild. Like I said, it's an Akira-class starship. We first saw this ship appear in Star Trek First Contact, which was released in November of 1996? No, 1998, excuse me. This ship, to be honest, just based solely on just checking it out and everything. I mean, look at the design on this thing. I mean, this thing's a rock star. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's got really good contours to it. The design was an original design. This design actually influenced the NX series, which we later saw in Star Trek Enterprise, the TV series. And to be honest, I really love this ship design. I really came to enjoy it a lot when I used to play Star Trek Dominion War and Star Trek Legacy. It was kind of like a tank out there on the battlefield when you'd see it in action, whether it was in like the Dominion War on Deep Space Nine, everything. You usually saw it, launching just huge volleys of torpedoes and huge phaser bursts and everything, and just nothing about this ship I really dislike. I've always enjoyed this one. Whenever I would have like my fleet setup or whatever, I usually at least had two of these guys sitting in the fleet, because they're basically like destroyers or cruisers, and they're designed to basically be kind of like the modern equivalent of a missile platform. And I really enjoy the design of this ship. I feel like Eaglemoss captured it with basically near perfect results. I guess, I have a couple of critiques. It's nothing too crazy, but it goes into my pros and cons list. But I will say, like I said, we saw it first in Star Trek First Contact, doing battle with the Borg Cube. They showed several different scenes with it and everything. That was awesome. It was commissioned in the early 2370s, kind of as a Borg/Dominion counterattack ship. We did see it in the Star Trek Voyager episode, Message in a Bottle, which was kind of cool because we not only got to see the Akira class in battle on its own, right along with the Prometheus, another really great starship design, but we even got to see it do battle with not only one, but two Defiant class starships simultaneously. So that was kind of neat, because no one was ever really sure at that time if the Defiant was just a lone starship all by itself. Come to find out, they not only had more than one, they had several of them, so it was kind of a neat thing to see. And like I said, I played Star Trek Legacy and Star Trek Dominion Wars on PC and on the Xbox 360, and to be honest, this was always a favorite starship of mine to use. It always had a really good design to it and everything. Like I said, that top pod that's right there on the very top of the ship, acted as like a huge photon torpedo platform. I mean, you just launch huge numbers of torpedoes out of the top of that thing, and you'd inflict massive damage on the enemies that way. Without further ado, to move on to the pros and cons section, I will say that the pros: this is the best model representation I've ever seen of the Akira class in an actual model. Excuse me, have a little bit of a cold. I've seen a couple other concept designs of it in smaller things like Star Trek Attack Wing. It's a nice model, but the details are really lacking, which really takes away from the model. And to me, I mean, it's not a bad thing, because it's kind of like the Micro Machines. If they'd made a Micro Machine of it, it would have looked a lot like the Attack Wing version, which is okay. It's not a bad thing to say anything about it. I will say that the clear plastic application is darn near spot on. The only reason I have one con in regards to that, but I will get to that in a minute, but I mean, every part that's on this that's supposed to have a clear plastic application does. The Bussard collectors on the noses of the warp nacelles are clear plastic application. The blue clear plastic applications on the nacelle housings themselves are exactly the way they're supposed to be, and even the deflector dish has a clear plastic disc on it, everything shaded in blue. Exactly what it's supposed to look like. No complaints in that aspect at all. Excuse me again. The symmetry of the ship and everything, when I hold it up with like laser pointers and kind of look at the line symmetry on it and everything, there's no flaws. It sits exactly where it's supposed to sit. No question about it. It's a darn near perfect design. And I mean, my last pro is not because of Eaglemoss specifically, but it's just to say that I loved this ship because it was a new and neat and original design. You know, they didn't borrow off of anything else. They didn't really take from anything else. It was just a really neat new design. And I absolutely love that whenever I see these kinds of ship designs come out. It's kind of like what I've seen so far about Star Trek Discovery online and everything. I mean, I'm excited for it, but I really want to see something that makes me wow at it. And so far, I really haven't seen anything that's made me kind of go wow yet. I'm hopeful and I'm a faithful fan, but we'll see what they come up with, and hopefully it'll be great. On to the cons list. On these nacelle housings that I already said I actually really liked, in where the Bussard collector actually connects right up to the main warp nacelle housing, everything, there's a very slight gap in them, everything, and I don't know if I can really get it close enough to actually allow you to see what I'm referring to, but we'll attempt. Yep, see, there's the slight gapping right there. But to be honest, that's really not a huge criticism of the model. It's just more of me basically nitpicking it a little bit and everything, which I'm very guilty of nitpicking these things. But to be fair, I love Star Trek and I love these models, so I'm going to nitpick them till the cows come home. The nacelle housings, like I said, I mean, they're basically perfect other than that one little gap. The one thing that caught my attention about it, and I'm not 100% sure, maybe a Trek fan can help me out with this and everything, but one of the things I noticed, and I'll focus in on it a little bit, is the fact of a lack of the ship's name. Its registration number is perfectly visible, and then on the sides, approximately center frame on the sides. I'll see if I can bring the ship a little bit closer. See where it says United Federation of Planets? It says it on both sides, which is fine. I have no issue with that. But what I do take issue with is that the ship has no name on it at all. And to be honest, I don't know if that's a flaw in the design from its original inception, or if that's a flaw on Eaglemoss's part. But to be fair, all the photographs I've seen, most of them are digital, meaning that they were like CGI ones, and I don't know that they ever actually put the name of the ship on the actual Starship. So if they didn't, it's not a fault of Eaglemoss by any stretch. They're just doing the model based on the information that they were given. So I actually will not make that as a critique for the model. I will simply say that that kind of bugged me a little. Paint application, 5 out of 5. Decals, I'm going to say 4 out of 5 because there's no Starship name on it. Aztecing, 5 out of 5. All these factors are basically near perfect on this model. So, without further ado, I give the model a complete listing because there are at least a couple of cons of 4 out of 5. We've officially hit the over 10 subscribers mark on YouTube, which to me is awesome. I really appreciate the fact that people are now paying attention. They're reading up on the Facebook site. They're checking us out. They're really getting involved. They're actually making commentary now. I want to say to you guys, thank you. Thank you so much. This was kind of a huge experiment for me and everything, and I wasn't really sure how it would go, but even though there's only a few of you out there, I really appreciate you coming out and helping me to build this and everything just a little bit more. So, again, like, subscribe, comment, give me critiques, give me information. I could use the information. And hey, we'll see you next time, and hey, this is awesome. So let's keep it up, and hey, we'll see you next time with issue number 13.